Stop being too accessible. That's the reason most people overlook your value. When something is always available, it stops being exciting. When something is rare, people chase it, protect it, and pay more for it. Think about it. The rarest metals, the most exclusive cars, the most limited products, all of them hold value because they are not everywhere. You can't be valuable if you're constantly available. You can't stand out when you're always saying yes to everyone and everything. The more accessible you are, the less people value your presence, your time, and your energy. You've got to start understanding that your attention is a reward, not a giveaway. Your time is a privilege, not a right. When you're too easy to reach, you're telling the world, I don't value myself enough to protect my space. When you make yourself accessible to everyone, you drain your focus. You stretch yourself thin trying to please people who wouldn't even notice if you disappeared for a week. You end up giving away pieces of yourself, your energy, your time, your creativity to people who haven't earned it. And then you wonder why you feel exhausted, unappreciated, and stuck. The truth is, you taught people to treat you like that. You trained them to believe that your time doesn't cost much. You gave discounts on your value, and people will always pay what you tell them your time is worth. If you give it away for free, they'll treat it like it's free. If you make them earn it, they'll start respecting it. Start moving like your time has weight, like your presence has a price. When people know they can't just call you anytime, when they realize they have to earn your attention, they start to step up. They come prepared, they respect your time, and they show up differently. That's what happens when you create boundaries. You elevate how others treat you. You're not being arrogant by being selective. You're being strategic. You're protecting your capacity to operate at a high level. High value people don't say yes to everything because they know every yes is a trade. Every time you say yes to something average, you're saying no to something extraordinary. Every yes to distraction is a no to discipline. Every yes to comfort is a no to growth. Stop apologizing for being selective. You're not cold, you're focused. You're not distant, you're deliberate. You've got dreams that demand your energy, goals that need your attention, and a vision that requires clarity. You can't build an empire if you're available to every invitation, every gossip, every pointless conversation. You've got to stop letting people rent space in your mind without paying rent. You've got to start acting like your energy is prime real estate. Not everyone deserves access to it. Not everyone can handle it. When you make yourself too available, people get comfortable taking you for granted. But when you pull back, when you create distance, when you become scarce, people start to notice your absence. They start to feel your value. The most valuable things in life are the least accessible. That's why people chase them. You've got to become that kind of person. The one whose presence carries weight, the one whose time is respected, the one whose attention means something. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be impactful where you are. Your worth doesn't increase by spreading yourself thin. It increases by being intentional. Choose where you show up. Choose who gets your energy. Choose what deserves your focus. Every time you say yes, make sure it's a yes that moves you forward, not a yes that keeps you stuck. When you start controlling your availability, you start controlling your value. When you stop giving yourself away to everyone, you start building a version of yourself that everyone wants to reach, but few can access. Your energy is the real currency. It's more powerful than money, more influential than talent, and more rare than opportunity. Energy is what drives execution, creativity, and influence. You can have all the skills in the world, but if your energy is low, you'll never use them to their full potential. You can have a dream so clear it burns in your mind, but if your energy is drained, that dream dies in silence. The problem is most people spend their energy carelessly. They waste it on gossip, on negativity, on meaningless conversations, on trying to please people who wouldn't even clap for them if they won. They wake up full and go to bed empty without ever putting their power toward anything that moves them forward. Energy is currency, and every day you're spending it. The question is, are you investing it or wasting it? You spend it when you argue about things that don't matter. You spend it when you try to explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You spend it when you allow toxic people to pull you into their chaos. You spend it when you scroll endlessly through social media, comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel. Every one of those moments is a transaction. You're trading your power for nothing in return. That's why you feel drained. That's why you feel stuck, because your energy is being used up on things that give you zero growth, zero peace, and zero return. You've got to start treating your energy like a billionaire treats their money. Every decision, every interaction, every commitment should be judged by one question. Is this giving me a return? If the answer is no, walk away. Protect your power. Stop giving discounts on your energy. Stop investing in people who only withdraw and never deposit. Your energy should circulate with purpose. When you give it to people who uplift you, who challenge you, who inspire you, you create multiplication, you grow. But when you give it to people who gossip, complain, or bring drama, you create subtraction, you shrink. You can't grow in chaos. You can't elevate surrounded by people who live at low frequency. Energy is contagious. You either infect people with it or they infect you with theirs. You've got to start guarding it like your future depends on it, because it does. Your success, your relationships, your focus, all of it comes down to energy management. You can't pour from an empty cup, but that's exactly what most people are doing. They wake up, grab their phones, scroll through negativity, respond to everybody's problems, and then try to work on their goals. You can't give your best energy to distractions and expect to win in your purpose. You've got to flip the script. Give your prime energy to your goals first. Your dreams deserve your highest frequency, your clearest mind, your best focus. Stop letting negativity rent space in your mind. Every thought that doesn't serve you is draining you. Every worry that doesn't build you is robbing you. Every complaint you entertain is lowering your vibration. Protect your environment. Protect your inputs, what you listen to, who you hang around, what you focus on. All of it shapes your energy. You've got to start saying no to anything that disrupts your peace. That's not selfish. That's survival. Protecting your energy is not about avoiding people. It's about choosing the right ones. It's not about isolation. It's about alignment. You need to be around people who match your ambition, who match your hunger, who bring power, not pressure. You can't elevate if you're constantly surrounded by energy debt. Energy is the force behind your momentum, and if you don't protect it, you'll burn out before you break through. Start guarding it with intensity every time you walk into a room. Ask yourself, am I being drained or charged? Every time you engage with someone, ask, are they pulling me backward or pushing me forward? Because your energy is your empire. You can't build anything powerful if you keep letting your power leak. Your circle defines your ceiling. The people you spend time with are not just your friends. They are the architects of your mindset. Every person in your life either builds you or breaks you, lifts you or limits you, pushes you forward or holds you back. Look around and you'll see your future staring back at you. Your circle reflects your standards, your energy, your habits, and your expectations. You can't run with people who are walking and expect to win a race. You can't grow when you're surrounded by people who are comfortable staying the same. The truth is simple. If you spend time with small thinkers, you'll start shrinking your dreams just to fit in. Most people never realize they're stuck because of their environment. They think it's bad luck, lack of resources, or the system holding them back, when in reality, it's the people they choose to keep around. You start mirroring the energy you absorb daily. If your friends are always complaining, you'll start doing the same. If your circle talks about people instead of ideas, your growth will stall. If the people around you avoid risk, you'll begin to fear it too. That's how influence works silently, consistently, and powerfully. You don't even notice it happening until one day you look in the mirror and realize you've become a reflection of the company you keep. You've got to surround yourself with people who see potential in you that you can't even see in yourself. People who challenge you, not comfort you. People who make you think bigger, not smaller. You need voices around you that call you out when you're lazy, that push you when you're scared, that remind you who you are when you forget, because iron sharpens iron, not plastic. Growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens when someone in your circle refuses to let you settle. You should have people around you who intimidate you a little, who make you level up just to stay in the room. That's not pressure, that's progress. You can't hang around negativity and expect positivity to grow in you. You can't stay in circles that gossip, complain, and quit easily and still expect to build a champion mindset. You need people who are obsessed with improvement, people who talk about ideas, solutions, and results, people who are hungry for growth. The energy of your circle should feed your vision, not starve it. You need to be around people who remind you that you're capable of more. When you're surrounded by dreamers, you start dreaming bigger. When you're surrounded by achievers, you start working harder. When you're surrounded by accountability, you start showing up differently. It's not personal to outgrow people. It's necessary. You can't carry everyone with you to the next level. Some people were meant for a chapter, not the whole story. You've got to be willing to distance yourself from those who keep you average. You're not better than them. You're just built for more. The moment you decide to elevate, you'll make some people uncomfortable. They'll call you arrogant, distant, or fake. Let them talk. They're just reacting to the reflection of their own stagnation. Don't lower your frequency to make others feel comfortable. Raise it until only those who belong at your level can reach you. Your network is your mirror. It shows you where you are and hints at where you're going. If you're surrounded by people who celebrate your excuses more than your progress, you're in the wrong room. If you're always the one motivating everyone else, you're in the wrong room. You need to find rooms where you're not the loudest, but the one taking notes, where you're not the teacher, but the student. Again, that's how you grow. The right circle doesn't just inspire you, it demands results from you. They don't let you talk about goals without taking action. They don't let you dream without deadlines. They make sure your words and your work match. The higher your circle, the higher your standards, and the higher your results. Your time is your most expensive asset, and most people treat it like it's free. They give it away without thought, without purpose, without direction. You can make more money, meet more people, learn more skills, but you can never get more time. Once it's gone forever. Yet people waste it like it's unlimited. They spend hours scrolling, gossiping, procrastinating, chasing distractions that lead nowhere, and then complain that they don't have enough time to build something meaningful. The truth is, you don't need more time. You just need more focus. You don't need longer days. You need better priorities. Every minute you give away to something unimportant is a piece of your future you'll never get back. You've got to start treating your time like a luxury item, not a common resource. When you realize the real value of your hours, you start saying no to nonsense. You start protecting your calendar like your life depends on it, because it does. Time is life. Every day that passes is a day closer to your goals or a day wasted in delay. People who don't respect their own time end up working for those who do. You have to decide what your time is worth. You can't build wealth, health, or greatness if you keep trading your hours for activities that don't move you forward. Most people aren't tired because of hard work. They're tired because of wasted time. They spend their day reacting instead of creating, managing other people's agendas instead of their own. You need to build a schedule that matches your ambition. If you say you want success, but your calendar is filled with distractions, you're lying to yourself. Your habits reveal your priorities. Every hour counts. Every moment matters. You've got to stop letting time slip through your fingers like sand. People will pull at your time from every direction. Coworkers, family, friends. strangers. And if you don't guard it, they'll drain it. The problem isn't that you're too busy. It's that you're busy doing the wrong things. You need to start auditing your days. Ask yourself constantly, is this activity producing results? Is it building something that matters? If not, eliminate it. Replace it with something that feeds your purpose. The most successful people in the world are not the smartest or the most talented. They're the most disciplined with their time. They understand the power of focus. They know that every minute wasted is momentum lost. They cut out the noise. They delegate what doesn't align with their goals. They move with urgency because they understand the clock never stops ticking. You can't afford to live like time is infinite. You don't have forever to get serious. Every excuse steals a moment that could have changed your life. Every delay costs you opportunities that may never return. You've got to move now, think now, act now. Because time doesn't care about your feelings. Stop scheduling everyone else before you schedule yourself. Stop showing up for everyone else's plans while your own goals collect dust. You can't pour energy into everyone else's agenda and expect to have time left for your own. You've got to start prioritizing your goals, your dreams, your future. Guard your mornings, guard your focus. Those first hours of the day set the tone for everything else. Don't waste them on distractions or other people's demands. Use them to build momentum, to create, to plan, to grow. That's how you take control of your time instead of letting time control you. Every moment you waste is a withdrawal from your potential. Every moment you invest is a deposit into your legacy. The question is, are you investing or withdrawing? Most people are broke not financially, but in time. They spend it on entertainment instead of education, on validation instead of vision, on comfort instead of creation. You've got to become ruthless with your schedule, ruthless with your focus, ruthless with your boundaries. Your time deserves respect, and it starts with you giving it that respect first. When you value your time, others start valuing it too. When you treat your hours like gold, the world starts treating you like you're worth it. Stop chasing validation and start chasing growth. Too many people are addicted to approval. They want to be liked. They want to be accepted. They want to be seen. But being seen doesn't mean being successful. Validation is a trap. It feels good in the moment, but it keeps you from building something real. You can't cash likes. You can't deposit compliments. You can't grow from approval. What changes your life is skill, discipline, consistency, and execution. The world doesn't pay you for being liked. It pays you for being valuable. You've got to start investing in yourself, not in what people think of you. Every minute you spend trying to impress others is a minute you could have used to improve yourself. Most people want recognition before they've earned results. They want applause before they've built anything worth clapping for. They focus on looking successful instead of becoming successful. That's why they burn out so quickly, because they're performing for attention, not building for legacy. You've got to stop worrying about what people think and start worrying about what you can create. People's opinions don't pay your bills. Don't fund your dreams. Don't move your life forward. You can't let opinions become your limitation. Every time you chase validation, you lose focus on your own vision. You start shaping your goals around other people's approval instead of your own potential. That's how dreams die quietly, not from failure, but from distraction. Skill outlasts validation. You can take away applause, but you can't take away ability. You can lose followers, but you can't lose mastery. The person who invests in skill becomes unstoppable because they're building from the inside out. When you focus on becoming great, the world eventually has no choice but to notice. But when you chase being noticed, you stop becoming great. Every successful person started by being unseen, unappreciated, underestimated. They weren't chasing recognition. They were chasing growth. They were sharpening their tools when nobody was watching. They were studying, learning, improving, failing, and getting back up again. That's where real value is created, in silence, not in spotlight. The difference between average and exceptional isn't luck, it's skill. It's the time you put in when no one's cheering. It's the hours you spend studying your craft while everyone else is seeking attention. You've got to fall in love with the process of getting better. Every hour you spend learning, every book you read, every failure you analyze, that's you investing in your worth. Skill gives you confidence that no approval can match, because when you know you're good, you don't need validation. You walk different. You move different. You attract opportunities because you've earned them, not because you beg for them. Stop trying to prove yourself and start improving yourself. Every time you post for likes, ask yourself, what's this doing for my growth? Every time you seek approval, ask, am I moving closer to my purpose, or just trying to look like I am? You've got to trade attention for intention, trade performance for progress, trade validation for elevation. The more you invest in yourself, the less you care about who's watching, because results speak louder than recognition. When you're skilled, you don't need to convince anyone. You just produce, you execute, you deliver. And the world responds to results, not requests for approval. You have to build in private what others will respect in public. That's how value is created. You don't need to announce every move. You need to make moves that can't be ignored. Stop measuring your worth by reactions. Measure it by growth, by resilience, by consistency. Validation fades, but value compounds. Skill multiplies your options, your influence, your income. When you master your craft, people start chasing you instead of you chasing them. When you invest in learning, every opportunity finds you naturally. Validation is temporary. Skill is permanent. Build something so powerful, so undeniable that even silence can't hide it. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Your standards shape your reality. And if your standards are low, your results will always match them. Most people stay stuck because they tolerate too much. They tolerate disrespect, laziness, distraction, inconsistency, mediocrity. They say they want more, but they accept less. You can't expect to live a high value life with low value habits. You can't expect excellence if you're comfortable with average. The level of success you reach will never rise above the level of standards you hold. When you raise your standards, you raise your vibration. You send a message to the world and to yourself that you're done settling. Your standards are not what you say you want. They're what you allow. You can post all the quotes, set all the goals, make all the plans, but none of it means anything if your behavior doesn't change. You've got to start saying no to everything that doesn't match the life you're building. That includes people, habits, and even thoughts. Every time you let something slide that you know isn't right for you, you lower your bar. Every time you stay in a place you've outgrown, you block your own growth. You've got to be ruthless with your standards because the world responds to what you tolerate. The more you demand from yourself, the more life gives you. The moment you decide that average isn't enough anymore, everything starts to shift. Raising your standards starts internally. It's not about perfection. It's about progression. It's about refusing to accept the version of yourself that plays small. It's about holding yourself accountable even when no one's watching. It's waking up earlier when you don't feel like it, finishing what you start, keeping promises you make to yourself. That's how self-respect is built. The stronger your self-respect, the higher your value. The higher your value, the more powerful your energy becomes. When you walk with standards, people feel it before you even speak. You stop begging for respect because your presence demands it. You've got to stop expecting big results from low effort routines. You can't wish for more and work the same. You can't pray for better while living the same way you've always lived. Every new level of life requires a new version of you. The habits that got you here won't get you there. The mindset that kept you comfortable will never make you legendary. When you raise your standards, you start moving differently. You start thinking long term instead of short term. You start choosing discipline over convenience, purpose over pleasure, growth over comfort. That's how your worth multiplies through consistency in your elevation. The truth is, Raising your standards will cost you. It'll cost you relationships, old habits, old identities. It'll make some people uncomfortable because they were used to your old version, the version that settled, that agreed, that said yes too easily. But that's the price of growth. When you start demanding more from life, you outgrow people who are fine living below their potential. You can't apologize for that. You can't shrink just to make others comfortable. You have to keep your standards high, even when it means walking alone for a while. The ones meant for your next level will rise to meet you there. You attract opportunities that match your energy, not your intentions. If your energy says, I'm okay with average, that's all you'll ever receive. But if your energy says, I only accept excellence, life starts to deliver excellence back to you. Raising your standards isn't just about expecting more from others. It's about expecting more from yourself. It's about acting like the person you want to become before you actually are that person. That's how transformation works. You set the standard first, and the world adjusts to it. You stop lowering your expectations to meet your environment, and you start elevating your environment to meet your expectations. You stop chasing value and start becoming it.